So our book this week is Pete the Cat and the Missing Cupcakes. Who likes Pete the Cat books? Yeah. All right, so the authors are Kimberly and James Dean. Okay, so why do you think this week I chose Pete the Cat and the Missing Cupcakes? Why do you think I chose this book? Danny?
Because in cupcakes it has suffix S.
Yeah, cupcakes has suffix S, so that's going to help us review that suffix S we've been working on. So in today's story, Pete the Cat is making cupcakes to take to a cupcake party for all of his friends. But something goes wrong, and his cupcakes start disappearing. We're going to read and find out what happens. And as we read today, you have two goals, two things that you're trying to do. First goal is to summarize the story when we're finished. Do you remember what summarize means?
Yeah.
Riley, what does summarize mean?
It means you squish it into parts, part of the story, so you won't need to tell it to somebody and all that stuff, because it would take you a long time to do it.
Yeah, you smash it down to just the most important parts. So good readers can summarize because good readers can pick out the most important parts of a book. Because we don't want to tell every single detail when we retell, we just want to cover the most important details. Another thing that I want you to work on is I want you to think about what lesson the author might want us to learn from this story. So sometimes authors are teaching you some big life lesson or something important that you can use. And this has kind of like a hidden lesson that it wants you to learn about being a friend. So I kind of want you to see if you can figure out what that lesson is that we can learn about being a friend. Think you can do that?
Yeah.
So summarize and figure out what lesson the author is trying to teach you. Now, do you think that this is fiction or non-fiction? Raise your hand.
Fiction.
Wyman?
I think this book is fiction.
It is fiction, so it is a made-up story, and it's a narrative. So it's a story that was written to just entertain you, not to teach you anything new, except for maybe like a good little life lesson. So in this story, Pete and his friends almost become like detectives. Do you know what a detective is? What's a detective? Zephyr?
A detective is someone that finds if something's gone missing, they're finding what's wrong, they find clues and stuff.
Perfect. Yes, a detective is somebody that's using clues to help solve a problem or solve a mystery. So that's going to be kind of important for this book because our characters are going to be acting like detectives. And they're going to treat their problem like a case that they have to solve. And that's what detectives call it. They call it their case. So they have a problem that they're trying to solve or a mystery they're trying to solve. That's their case. You're also going to have a few tricky words in this story, like the word disappear. Does anybody know what disappear means? Henley, what does disappear mean?
It means it's not there anymore.
Yeah, you don't see it anymore. So in this book, something is going to disappear. That just means they don't see it anymore. It's gone. You're also going to have the word solved. What do you think solved means? Lawson?
That at first there was a mystery and they didn't know what it was, and then they figured it out with clues.
Yeah, very good. Solving something means figuring it out, getting down to the answer of it all. Very good. Okay, so one other thing I want to tell you about this book is some of the sentences might sound a little bit different than we talk, and that's because they like to make Pete the Cat books have a certain rhythm to them. They also like to make them rhyme. So sometimes there might be a few sentences that you're like, oh, I don't really talk like that. It's because they're trying to make sure it rhymes. Like they say, oh no, hang on, some of the cupcakes were gone. So they say, hang on, gone. They were sure there had been 10. Pete said, maybe we need to count again. Did you hear the rhyme?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
10 again.
And again, very good. Squirrel said, it wasn't me. It couldn't be. I've been at the spelling bee. Do you hear all those rhymes?
Yes.
Yeah, so it makes it almost sound a little bit like a song. They do that on purpose in Pete the Cat because it makes it fun to read. All right, you ready to hear the book?
Yeah.
Okay, Pete the Cat and the Missing Cupcakes. Remember, we're picking out the most important details so we can summarize when we're done. Pete and Gus were as busy as could be. They were getting ready for the cupcake party. It started at 3. So far, you've got your first two characters. Who are they? Danny?
Pete the cat and his friend Buzz.
Gus. Yep, Pete and Gus. And they're making cupcakes for a
Party.
Party, very good. They were making cupcakes for everyone. Pete and Gus counted them just for fun. They had 10 when they were done. This kind of makes me think about parties that I've been to and having to like get things ready for a party. Like I actually just ordered cupcakes for my son's birthday that's coming up. So I'm kind of making some connections to Pete here. I know what that's like. Oh no! Hang on! Some of the cupcakes were gone. They were sure there had been 10. Pete said, maybe we need to count again. I'm thinking, man, if I just made all these cupcakes for a party and some of them went missing, I'd be a little bit worried and a little bit panicked. But that's how Pete's feeling. They counted the cupcakes lined up straight. Now there were only 8. It looked like someone had taken 2. But who? Pete and Gus did not know what to do. So our characters have a problem. Did you catch what the problem is?
Yeah.
Lyman, what's the problem?
People are stealing the cupcakes.
Somebody's probably stealing their cupcakes. Their cupcakes are going missing. Just then, they found a clue. Gus said, look what I have found. Sprinkles on the ground. I bet it was Squirrel. She loves sprinkles. Squirrel said, it wasn't me. It couldn't be. I've been at the spelling bee. Uh-oh. More cupcakes are missing. Come and see. Oh, the problem's just getting worse. This was too weird. 2 more cupcakes had disappeared. Now there were only 6. Someone must be playing tricks. But who? Pete and Gus did not know what to do. So I'm wondering, based on what happened so far, I'm wondering if maybe they're going to find another clue like they did before. Maybe this clue will help them figure it out. You think the next clue is going to help them figure it out?
No.
You don't think so?
The cupcakes are just vanishing.
They are vanishing, which is a good word for like disappeared, right? We would say those words are
Synonyms.
very good. Just then, they found another clue. I was right. I thought they were going to find another clue. And you guys said you don't think they're going to solve it though?
No. I think they are.
Oh, some of you think they're going to solve it with this clue? Do you see the clue there?
Yeah.
Pete said, I bet it was Alligator. He loves to eat. Alligator said, it wasn't me. It couldn't be. I've been learning my ABCs. Uh-oh. More cupcakes are missing. Come and see. So was it Alligator? No. He has an alibi. He has something he was doing. He was learning his ABCs. Now, there were only 4. Someone had taken 2 more. But who? I'm predicting they're going to find more clues.
I think that they're going to get it on.
But I'm starting to worry they're not going to figure out who it is.
They are.
So far, they haven't had any luck with it. You think they are going to figure it out?
I've read the book before.
Pete and Gus did not know what to do. Just then, they found another clue. So we were right, they found another clue. I bet it was Turtle, said Pete. I know Turtle loves sweets. You guys think it was Turtle?
Yeah.
Some say yes. So you're making a prediction. Some of you think it was Turtle. Some of you don't think it was Turtle. Turtle said, it wasn't me. It couldn't be. I've been swimming in the sea. Uh-oh. More cupcakes are missing. Come and see. Oh, some of you see a clue.
I see.
Some of you are putting the pieces together and making a pretty smart prediction. You know what, though? With how it's going, I'm kind of predicting that all the cupcakes are going to go missing. What do you think?
Yeah.
Some of you think they're going to figure it out before they all disappear?
No.
What on earth was going on? All the cupcakes were now gone. Oh, so was I right?
Yeah.
I saw the pattern that they kept losing some. I'm like, this is not looking good. I don't think they're going to solve it. All right, so their problem's gotten worse. Who thinks they're going to figure it out? Who thinks they're not going to figure it out? All right. So far, they haven't had very good luck, have they? Pete and Gus did not know what to do. They started looking for another clue. Oh, look at those. they found Grumpy Toad with icing on his face. That's a pretty big clue, right? Pete and Gus have solved the case. I am so sorry. It was me. I could not stop with just one. I ate and ate till there were none. They solved the case, but is their problem solved?
No.
No, because their problem is they don't have cupcakes for the
Party.
So even though they figured out who was doing it, they still have a problem. They've solved who it was, but they don't have any cupcakes. Would you forgive Toad?
No. Yes.
No way.
Yes.
I would.
Some of you would.
Yeah.
Everyone agreed. Grumpy Toad would have to miss the fun. He could not come after what he had done. So, I'm kind of connecting to this story right now. I'm thinking, man, sometimes people have done some things to me that were pretty mean, and I did not want to give them another chance. I want to be like, I'm done with you. Get out of here. Have you ever felt that way?
Yeah.
So they did something that really
Yes.
upset you.
Yeah.
So you're making a connection to how these characters are feeling. You understand how they feel because you've experienced that before. Pete said, but wait, Grumpy Toad made a mistake. This is true. Let's give him a second chance. That's what friends do. So what does Pete want to do?
Give
him a
second
Give
chance.
him a second chance. And why did he say maybe we should give him a second chance? Riley?
He made a mistake. He ate one, but he was probably like too hungry and he didn't have any food to eat right now.
So it was just a mistake. Pete told Grumpy Toad they would give him another chance. He was so excited, he did a happy dance. The night of the party was so much fun, Grumpy Toad brought more than enough cupcakes for everyone. So, did the problem end up being solved?
Yes.
So they figured out who stole the cupcakes, and then, how's it end? It ends with everything being fixed because what happened, Paisley?
Toad gave everyone 15 cupcakes.
Well, he brought enough cupcakes for everybody, didn't he? So they ended up having enough cupcakes. Okay, we are going to work on summarizing this, but before we do, I told you I wanted you to try to summarize, and I also wanted you to see if there's a lesson we could learn from these characters. Is there anything that you think this author wanted us to learn about being good people, being good, kind people? What could we learn from Pete in this book that would help us to be better people? Levi?
By not stealing.
Oh, not stealing would be a good lesson to learn. Were there any other lessons that we could learn? Because it was really sad for the characters when they didn't have those cupcakes, right? So that is one lesson. Yeah, I didn't even think about that one. Danny, what other lesson could we learn?
To give people second chances.
To give people second chances, that everybody makes
Mistakes.
and you're going to want people to give you a second chance sometimes. So maybe it's nice to forgive and let people have another chance. All right, now we're going to see if we can summarize this story. Think we can summarize it?
Yeah.
Everybody say, summarize.
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 So we're going to take this whole big story and we're going to smash it down to just a couple sentences. And we're going to use one of my favorite strategies to do it. Do you remember what one of my favorite summarizing strategies is? Wyman, do you remember?
Somebody won, but so then.
Very good. Say it with me.
Somebody wanted but so then.
Again.
Somebody wanted but so then.
And those are just little clues to help us to remember to zero in on the most important parts of the story so that our summary covers all the most important things. Okay, so we're going to start with the somebody. Somebody is who the main character or person was. So who is our main character in this story? Who is our main character? Wyman?
Pete the cat.
Pete the cat is our main character. Very good. So I'm going to write Pete the cat. Now, in this book, he wanted something. What did Pete want? At the beginning of the story, what was Pete wanting? Amelia, what did he want?
He wanted him and Gus counted the
wanted to make cupcakes for everyone at the cupcake party. Alright, somebody wanted, but, okay, this is where we have a problem. I want you to turn to somebody close to you and tell them what the problem was in the story. What problem did our characters have? They wanted to have cupcakes for everybody at the cupcake party, but what was our problem? Class?
Yes, yes, yes.
Class?
Yes, yes, yes.
Alright, so Carter, what was the problem?
But somebody took two of the cupcakes of the batch.
Okay, yeah, did they just take two?
No.
What was happening? All of the cupcakes were
Gone.
disappearing. They were all being taken. So, yeah, it started out with just two. But remember, we're summarizing. We're going to break it down just to the most important thing. The important thing was the cupcakes were disappearing. They were running out of cupcakes. They wanted one for everybody, but the cupcakes kept disappearing. But the cupcakes kept disappearing. Okay. So we have our somebody, we have what they wanted, and we have our problem. So, how did the character or person try to solve the problem? So how are they trying to solve that problem? Danny, how are they trying to solve the problem?
So they started looking for clues.
Yeah. So they looked for clues and found out what? Turn and talk to a buddy. What did they find out? They used clues, and what did they find out? All right, class?
Yes, yes, yes.
I heard a few people say it. So they looked for clues and found out, Sadie?
That it was Grumpy Toad.
Oh, they found out Grumpy Toad. Did he just take them?
No.
Oh no, Grumpy Toad had eaten them all. Had eaten all of them. Then, what was the resolution or outcome? How did the story end? So they solved the problem. They figured out who it was. They figured out that he'd eaten them all. But how's the story end? Turn and talk to a buddy. How's it end? Because that would be a pretty sad ending if it just ended there.
It's actually 25 because if it's 15, it would be a 10 and a 5, and there was two, and there was 2 10s and a 5. I sold it. If you read,
All right, class.
yes, yes, yes.
Class.
Yes, yes, yes.
So how does the story end? It doesn't just end with, oh, Grumpy Toad ate them all. How does it end? Henley.
The Grumpy Toad brought more than they needed.
Yeah, then Grumpy Toad brought more than enough cupcakes for
Everyone.
Yes, then Grumpy Toad brought more than enough cupcakes
Everyone.
single detail of the story?
Yes.
Oh, you think we put every little detail?
No.
Do you think we got the most important details?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to put it together into your paragraph. While I'm doing this, I want you to see if you can put all this together and summarize it to a friend. So you're going to go through and think, somebody, Pete the cat, wanted, tell what he wanted, but see if you can go through it all and put it together into a few sentences for your partner. Go. Class?
Yes.
All right, you think you got it?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to read what you came up with. Pete the cat wanted to make cupcakes for everyone at the cupcake party, but the cupcakes kept disappearing. So they looked for clues and found out Grumpy Toad had eaten all of them. Then Grumpy Toad brought more than enough cupcakes for everyone. Did that take the whole story and smash it into a few sentences?
Yes.
Did we retell every single detail?
No.
No. So remember, good readers can pick out the most important details from a story, and then they can use that to summarize, to retell a story with just the most important parts. Sound good?
You forgot something.
Oh, what did I forget?
Cups.
Oh, yep, and then we would go through and do cups on it. Very
You
good.
forgot one other thing.
What?
Gus was one of the main characters.
Gus was one of the main characters. Do you think he was the most important character? No. Pete was probably the most important, right?
Because it's his book.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.